It's a beautiful theme. Now that we can hear it.
It's kind of nice. It's soothing.
Absolutely.
Hey, everybody! Get rid of that other crap.
It's gone.
Listen, great to see Steve and Mike, the two hotheads. It was fun to walk in on. This is really something. You guys are dead serious about this stuff. Man.
Oh, yeah, we are.
Ready to kill each other.
And this studio really needs better lighting.
Oh, the lighting in here. My God, I'm blind as it is.
Yeah.
You know?
I think they're trying to kill us.
That's curse the candle.
They let you smoke weed, which is cool, but yeah.
Oh my God! So what's new since I last saw everybody here? Well, we were out at the Topsfield Fair, and oh my God, it was horrible. The giant pumpkin escaped. It rolled out of the glass case. It was like out of a Godzilla movie. It bumped into somebody, crushed, I guess, somebody's foot, and continued to roll. And you know, and it turned. Yeah, it was
Holy crap!
You know, it's just. But you know, and then it got over as far as.
Wait. How did this roll out? How big was it?
Well, not fuck the pumpkin. Let's talk about the balls and some of them sheep. Holy! You know,
are they breeding them for the balls?
One of them backed up and it hit a little kid. And that wasn't funny.
Oh my God!
Yeah, a little kid got really hurt bad. So listen, it's really great to see you guys. As far as tonight, yeah, I had to announce that thing about at the Topsfield Fair, the runaway pumpkin. You know, I don't know if they've had problems with that in the past, but it was really horrifying to see that rolling along and crushing people the way it was. Just
considering it weighed almost a ton.
Oh my gosh, it's unbelievable.
Really, this really happened.
Unbelievable. Oh, it was horrible. It's, you know, but yeah.
How many injuries?
Oh, I think about 13 to maybe between 13 and 500.
Wow. I'd pay to go see that.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I didn't see it on the evening news, but it apparently bled.
Well, I have my own version of the news and the world. So, and we just got back from New York. I just got back from New York, and boy, are my arms tired. And went to Trash and Vaudeville down on St. Mark's Place. And you walk in there, and you go in the back, and there's all of these boots and shoes, and they're all beckoning. This is pornography to me. These things are all sitting there, shining with buckles.
You have a large collection of footwear,
yes,
huh?
it's very famous. And
as big as Imelda's?
Well, it's actually I got some of it from her. I'll tell you the truth. That's another side of me, though. Anyway, but saw this one pair, and you know how you just see it something, and it's like, oh, you know, it glowed, and it was incredible. And they were Beetle boots, two-tone, black and white, with Cuban heels. And they were insane. And tried them on, and alas, you know, all this business about shit getting bigger as you get older. Man, well, I'll tell you what, there wasn't a chance. My feet were not getting in those, and I think 20 years ago they would have easily. You know, so that was kind of a disappointment.
Couldn't find it in your size?
Oh, no, they were running out, and it was down to the last, so they didn't have me. But if anybody sees anything with a Cuban heel in red suede, blue suede, whatever, I think I'm getting towards like a 10.5, 11 these days. So just mail them, send them here to the station. But yeah, we were down there for a wonderful party. My fiance's best friend had her birthday, and it was a surprise party at one of those posh places that, you know, you need to be on the guest list to be on the guest list. One of those deals. Hey, listen, don't be shy about phoning in, everybody, and saying hello at 617-606-4122. And, of course, go to the web at, well, you're going to be on the web to be listening to this, unregularradio.com, and the info to click on is on the right-hand side of the page. This is my second show. I'm being made to feel extremely loved, very welcomed. And
excuse me, Bobby. I just want to say goodbye. I got to run. I'm at a meter, and the meter maid saw me feeding the quarters into it last time.
They're gonna get you, Steve.
Bye, Steve.
Bye, Steve.
Steve's taking too many tickets for the cause. I'll say that.
Go down and meter that.
Drive carefully.
Bye.
All right. Bye bye.
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah, he's driving in this condition.
Nice.
After he's all hot-headed.
I have a serious question to ask about all of these laws that we want reformed and everything. And this is dead up serious. We're speaking of, obviously, legalization the people that are for the legalization, and certainly I applaud all of that. But what I want to know is this. Within legalization, are they also authoring, I hate to use this ugly word, but regulation and, in other words, in other words, the same as alcohol has controls like, no, you can't drink it if you're under 21. No, you can't drink a whole lot of it and drive a car. In other words, have they been conscientious about also saying, not only do we want it legal, but we're going over into the area of we're going to show you that we want to be responsible and have some regulations amongst ourselves on this. Now, tell me if that's the case.
That's a big fight within the reform movement. Is how is it regulated? Who regulates it? Who runs it? Because a lot of times, if you put it with a state, the state sits on it and doesn't do it right. And if you put it with the corporations, people get too greedy and big corporations take over. So there's a big fight. And I think the bottom line is this, that number one, you should be able to grow your own for personal use. So let's end the black market, huge inflated value for marijuana that is causing violence.
Yes.
Drop the price. Everyone grows their own a certain amount.
Yeah.
You don't get arrested. You sell it, then you have to be taxed, regulated, all the things that you're talking about, commercial interest.
Yeah.
When you have commercial interest, you have to be insured. You have to be, all these things.
Yeah.
And yes, I do believe that.
Okay.
And I think we're also looking at how far do we go? A lot of us feel like marijuana and driving. We want to have an honest debate about that.
Absolutely.
Is that children that smoke marijuana and drive, big danger. Not even a question. But other people, I don't know if it's an issue, because science doesn't show that. Science from the government has shown that if you have one beer, you're 3 times as likely to get in an accident than someone that's just smoked a joint.
Oh, wow.
So are we going to outlaw one beer?
Right.
I mean, I don't believe that's right. I
Because you're allowed to have one beer and drink, correct?
Yeah, most people.
No, I mean, in terms of the law.
Yes, within blood alcohol content, technically, yes. You could be 50 pounds and maybe you'd be over the limit. If you're Vern Troyer, one drink might make you over the limit.
But you're saying the government has acknowledged that people will drink a drink and get in a car.
Yeah.
So that's established.
Yep.
That's a precedent
and that's okay.
that we have.
And it's 3 times as likely to cause it by the National Traffic Safety Bureau study. I mean, that's the government telling you that maybe marijuana, it's kind of this gray issue.
Yeah.
I think if a kid's 16, it's his first joint, and he drives, that could be a problem.
Could be.
Yeah.
But if you're 60 years old, well, maybe that's a problem because you're too old. But if you're 40 years old, you've been smoking weed for 20 years, you're a pro, you've never gotten in an accident, I'm not fucking worried about you.
Yeah, to your point, it's a very individual thing. I mean, it depends on who you are, how old you are, your experience.
So it boils down to driving is the field sobriety test.
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah.
Officers know if you're messed up. It shouldn't just be about how much marijuana you have in your system. It should be, can you drive a car? Are you putting people at risk?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Let's get real, and that's a tough thing to test. So that's one of the issues against us. It's how do you draw that friggin' line?
Well, I'll tell you, in terms of what you're trying to do to get it legalized, it sounds to me as well that what you want to do is simply say, this plant is a reality on our planet.
That's it. It's here.
And it's here.
And more people have used it now under Prohibition.
Yeah.
Because of Prohibition.
Yeah.
When it started, there weren't that many people using it. Over the last 30 or 40 years, it's exploding uses up because of Prohibition.
For example, now they have laws governing texting while you're driving.
Yep. Much needed.
Exactly. And my dear sister, happy birthday, Rosemary, my beloved sister down in Pennsylvania, just had her birthday. But she had just gotten a cell phone because down in Pennsylvania, we like to do things nice and slow. And, so she finally got one. And I admonished her, listen, no texting while you're driving. And she explained to me, she's like, don't worry, I will not do that because actually I'm putting my eye makeup on while I'm driving.
That's legal.
Very relieved to hear that.
But I guess what I'm trying to say is, just as in our 21st century we have addressed texting, which is a fairly new technology, then it would seem to me that the marijuana thing, yes, they can get that into the, hey, let us talk about this. Let's figure out how we want to, regulate the behavior of this.
It's like
situation.
anything else. Let's do it safely because, to Mike's point, when you get on the road, it's not just about you. It's about everybody else.
Exactly.
Are you putting other people in danger?
Exactly.
That's the
Exactly. I mean, same with music. I mean, some of these sound systems, they make the car vibrate so bad it might jump a lane and kill someone. So, you know, you're basically, I think we're all on the same page here, that if something's going to be done, then do it like safely and right
all the way. And that's why if you're a rational,
100%.
thoughtful person that has examined the issue, like me,
And you know
the
what
serious
else?
guy Epstein, you come to a conclusion that legalization is the only way to do it.
Yeah.
Decrim, medical, it still leaves all these other issues.
Let's do it responsibly.
Let's do it all the way and do it right.
Well, you guys are smart. I mean, you do realize that there are vested interests to keep this illegal. And one of the things I resolved a long time ago when I was first offered this opportunity to be on this show was I wasn't going to get into too much real finger pointing about the Great White Father down in Washington. I mean, if you guys want to do it, you go right ahead. I'm going to do it more in vague, more general terms because I don't feel like personally dealing with them ever. But I will say this: I think there are segments of our controlling fathers that have a lot to gain by keeping this illegal.
Profits.
It's well, like, I mean, we don't. You know what? This is one of these things that we can talk about it, but we almost don't even need to. It's such a no-brainer how this works.
And all this stuff is,
you know,
it's like people are just walking around zombies, but they know it. They know it. It's like remember communism was it was over, but the Berlin Wall was still there.
Yes.
The day before.
Yes. Exactly.
It was over. It was already over for how long?
Yeah.
Years. It was really over.
I will tell you this much. Speaking of this subject, and I'm glad you're here and speaking with me and hanging on with this.
I love hearing what you're saying.
Well, thank you, man. But I'll tell you something that I got to tell you, the first time I saw it, I threw up in my mouth a little bit. And I'll tell you, I still do. There was this show called Cops. Now, these bastards, wearing the uniform of our generation and of our culture, they've got the tattoos, they've got the ponytail, they've got the earrings, okay? They're deceitful and they're doing entrapment. And then they go to some old man on one of these episodes who was down in like Florida and he was a poor old guy that didn't have any, you know, and he's dealing. Well, these guys in their Captain Lou Albano shirts, you know, their flowered shirts and their goatees and their ponytails and shit, looking like basically trying to look like bikers is what they were trying to look like.
But can you judge a guy by his t-shirt?
Well, in this case, dig this. They bust this guy and then they high five each other. You know, and then now I want to know something. What happened to those big ass bags of marijuana that old man had in his trailer?
Oh, it's an age-old
Where
question,
does
isn't
it go?
It is.
Now, see, I'm enough of a coward that I will ask the question of what happened rather than sit here and tell you what I think happened.
In Philly, they just busted 2 police officers. A reverse sting. They set them up and they stole the drugs. The Boston Police Department, before this current police chief took over, Ed Davis, they've been investigating crime evidence being stolen from the drug lab and reassigning cops, and nothing ever happened with it. They were missing pounds of cocaine and marijuana. This has been going on for a long time. They lost it. They lost it. And then they found it and they tested it and it was cut up. Like, you know, when you
stomped it.
Yeah, they cut it up with lesser ingredients.
Yeah, so the point is well,
like,
you know,
watering down your remember you used to water down your father's whiskey bottles when you're trying to drink when you were 16? That's what they're doing.
Yeah, there you go. So, well, that's because at the end of the day, we're all people and we're going to do what human beings do. And that's cops are guess what? They're people too.
They're people too.
And they do things, and the ones that are going to be involved in it. I can tell you guys a story, and all of you out there in TV land, about this, because for one thing, it's the number of years since I heard this story. There's no way anybody's getting in trouble for this, because I'm again, don't have the balls to actually be too specific on it. But being a musician, as I have been for a number of years, I was playing in a band. And one of our members was associated with an attorney who was involved in the business. And anyway, short story long, this guy would get his cocaine, this lawyer, from